Welcome back to the channel. I bought myself another car. Currently just in my truck waiting for Tom to get here to go pick it up. It's four-wheel drive. We plan to do some testing with it. We plan to do some jumping with it. And anything else that you guys might comment that you want to see with it. So waiting for him. Let's go pick it up. Feeling good. Beautiful day.
Oh, yeah.
New car day.
Tracker whip day. Man, I'm excited. Didn't even read your text in full.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, you want to go get a whip? I'm like, oh, okay, sweet. And then I woke up this morning and actually read the text, like, oh, yeah, I picked up the tracker. I'm like, oh, yeah. Like,
baby.
Oh.
Got your license finally?
Yeah.
Sick.
There's a new one.
Let's go.
Yes. Oh, my God. Yep. Yes.
Clean. Kind of.
Clean enough. The meat's on that thing.
Yeah, new studded winters. Unit.
Ready to go for summer.
First time checking out the inside.
It's already open.
Sick. Look at that interior.
It smells amazing too. Holy smokes.
So we'll take her back to the shop, get it up on the lift and check it out. See if we can find some, what's that?
It's clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if we can find some meaty quad tires for it or something. There we go. Said it might squeal a bit, but there we go. That's fine. Driving like a dream so far. First 200 meters. Tom and I have picked up some interesting vehicles in our time. At least this vehicle's in the same city. We are often going to like Vancouver or something to pick them up, and then it's a whole different ball game on whether the cars will make it back or not. And a lot more of a pain in the ass if they don't. So this time we've only got about 10-kilometer drive back to the shop. So I'm really banking on it making this. Looks like it's got a tow hook on the back and one on the front. No hitch, which is a bit of a bummer, but can't tell if that's the gas tank or the muffler hanging down. Hopefully it's the muffler, that's easier to deal with, but yeah, might have to make a bit of a skid plate or that won't last long if it's the gas tank. So, definitely a little slow. Tried merging on the highway and wasn't very fast, so we'll figure out, we'll ask him how it was doing when we get there, I guess, if it makes it. Hear those studs going? Looks good at least. I think he's floored right now. Not the fastest. Trying to do a burnout. Not so good at burnouts. All right, she's home.
Well, she doesn't like accelerating at all.
Yeah.
Second is useless. Yeah, first is okay, and then it gets a second, it's got nothing. So.
Huh. Well, maybe it does need a little tune-up.
Yeah, it needs something for sure.
Yeah, well, here she is. Just shut itself off, so hopefully that starts again. I mean, pretty much brand new studded winters, so something. Interior is probably the best part of it. Nice and clean. Yeah. A little bit of rust. Oh, look at that though. That's nice. Does have a frame on these, so that's nice. They're not unibody. It's locked. 15-inch tires. This is the worst side over here. Some rust holes and whatnot. Beggars can't be choosers. Let's take it for a spin up top. Come on, baby, start back up.
Some gas pedal.
Oh yeah, nice. I mean, it's pretty nice inside.
I told you, it's clean.
Yeah. It's got the holy
heck handles.
Holy heck handles.
Safety warning here.
Nice. Warning. Oh, nice little mirror. Couple smellies.
Alright.
Yeah. Some creaks and groans.
Oh.
Does have a bit of a miss.
Oh.
Maybe we could solve that with something. So it was a no-go on the burnout.
Yeah, no. It was, the brakes gave out and the engine.
That's it. Oh, e-brake's got some spice. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a miss. Maybe it does need plugs and wires.
Yeah, see, it's got no acceleration now. It's just
service engine soon.
Okay.
Cruise around.
Yeah, winter's got some bite.
Definitely needs a welded rear. See if we can go through that dip. Definitely some squeaks and whatnot. Look it up on the right there. Pretty good. Alright, let's lock her in. So 2. There we go. 4 low. Piece of cake.
Nice. Smooth when she's got that in it.
Oh, big rock here. Yeah, favor left. This is steep and very soft. Ooh. Yeah. I think the back bumper's digging in. Oh, don't be stuck. Oh, yeah, there's the rock. Oh, yeah. Oh, full dragage.
Yeah, that is steep.
Hard left, see if we can make it through the off camber.
Yeah, she'll have to work it in here.
Yeah. needs that rear diff welded.
We can fix that. Like going
like
backwards.
A rubber strut bushing or something squeaking away.
Yeah. Just cut it off.
Did it with a little zest. There it is. There it is. Yeah. So light, you can just tell. Little off camber there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Side hills.
It's so light.
Yeah. Doing. Turn left. Go forward. Let's give it a little more.
We hit it right on the, and we're touchdown. Nice.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Took 4 minutes to get airborne. That was good.
Yeah. All right, is our next challenge. Backside of this big landing. It's probably 14 feet tall. Pretty steep. Just groomed it up. So we'll probably high center on top, so we'll have to pop the front tires off the ground a little bit, but it does stall, but might just be a save gas feature.
It's a start stop.
Alright. Go. There it is. Yeah, I think we might have snagged the exhaust a bit.
Better. It's improvement. Oh, yeah,
easy.
way better.
Yeah, get a little side hill on one of these and we'll go pull it into the shop. Yeah, whatever. It's steep. That's probably good 35 based on the Acadian. See it again, the weight's pretty low in this thing, even though it's skinny.
Champed it.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Nice.
All right. We definitely pulled the exhaust off a little bit going over the landing. It's all right. Yeah, I mean, it's never plugs and wires that are the problem, but maybe it is.
Could be.
If they're cheap, and if not, we'll run it.
Good enough.
Think it's got enough jam to get over the jump?
Nope.
No.
You need a long runway and
Man,
a lot of luck.
Dang it.
You gotta start from like the very back and get momentum.
Well,
On the highway, it took a long time to get going.
yeah, that was slow.
Yeah.
Little baby coil springs on the back. Could probably run my razor coilovers on this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, those control arms are longer than Denny's Jeep were. Check if it's on the frame. Oh yeah, did pretty good. Solid rear end, little baby thing. Frame looks in decent shape. Definitely had some muffler work. Oh yeah,
there.
Back of the muffler's pulling out. Could be it. Little agriculture there. Little baby transfer case. Little baby front drive shaft. Independent
Baby
front. You could lose the sway bar there. Get some more flex. Yeah. Looks pretty good under here. If only it ran a little better. At least there's nothing too exposed. Oh yeah, so it is the gas tank hanging down at the back. So we will have to kind of watch out for that a bit. It's got a bit of a skid plate.
Yeah, that thing is low.
Oh, it's like a Toyota rear end where you pull the third out. So you have to pull the axles and pull the third to be able to weld it up. Yeah, those control arms. Not bad.
Pretty beefy, yeah.
Huh. Mounts are outside the frame. What's the... Oh yeah, little baby upper control arms inside the frame. Pretty simple. The frame rails are just dead flat and then it just arcs up over the axle.
Sliders.
Track bar. Yeah, actually they're perfectly flat on the bottom. Those work good for rock sliders. You could pretty easily do a flat belly on one of these things. Just weld a sheet from rail to rail.
Yeah. 45 down on the cross.
Yeah, the cross member hangs down lower than the T-case.
Yeah.
As long as we keep rocks and stuff off-centered a bit, it'd be good.
Yeah.
It's the next morning, back in the shop. So yesterday, Tom and I took the old tracker out to Jeklefab and learned some not so good news. Cylinder 6 has pretty much no compression, so we're running on 5, but 5 out of 6 is pretty good. So we're gonna continue with that because I'm not about to dive into the engine that much and put that money into it. So instead, I'm diving into the back end and I'm gonna weld up the rear end so that we have full traction. So for those of you that don't know, kind of quick crash course on differentials and lockers, that is your differential. So from the transfer case, the drive shaft comes back, puts power to the differential. That differentiates how much power goes to which one and at which rate the tires can turn. So when you're turning a corner, the inside tire goes around less times than the outside one does. So inside the differential, there's spider gears that allows them to travel at different speeds, and is also the reason that off-road they don't do very well and only turns one tire, because as soon as one comes off the ground or gets less traction, that's the one where all the power goes, spins, and you're stuck. So lots of different style lockers. The most expensive and kind of best ones are the ones that you can actuate yourself, so the air lockers and e-lockers. You hit a button and it engages it. So other than that, it's fully open. When you hit a button, it's fully locked. So not doing that. Then there's like your automatic ones like Detroit. So it senses the torque and locks it up. Not as good for street drivability. Like you'll hear it ratcheting going around corners, and then sometimes it'll lock up on you if you hit the gas in an intersection. And then you have your limited slips, which is more kind of for street cars and smaller tires. They work okay. I don't really like them for off-road. And then you have your spool, which is basically just a chunk of metal that you bolt in place of the spider gears, and it is full locked all the time. And then bottom of the list, you have welding the spider gears together. So that's what we're doing because it costs you time and a few dollars in welder gas and wire. So on a lot of axles, like my Jeep for instance, it's really easy. All you have to do is pull the diff cover off the back of the differential, whatever it is, 8 bolts, 10 bolts, and then clean it up and weld the spider gears in place. But this style and Toyotas and stuff have the back is welded on, and then there's a removable third member with all these bolts here. So in order to get that out, you have to pull the axles out just enough and then pull that out, take the drive shaft off, and then deal with it on the bench. So I've been humming and hawing whether I do that or not, but to make this an off-road machine, it needs to be welded. So that's what I'm gonna try and tackle today. And then hopefully this weekend we can take it off-roading and see what this little bad boy will do. Because they're actually pretty capable. It only weighs 2,800 pounds, pretty short wheelbase, has 4 low, so we'll go some places. You can count on that. So I've sprayed everything down. Got to try and get these 4 bolts out so I can pull the axle out. I only have to pull it out a few inches, just enough so that the inside of the axle pulls out of the differential, enough to slide the third member out. So I've hit everything with penetrating oil a little while ago, hopefully make it easier. But yeah, this thing's seen better days. So when we went over the landing yesterday, we already pulled the back of the muffler out, which looks like it was a problem before because there's a big bubble gum weld on there trying to keep that in. They've obviously done some exhaust work, so it's got a bit of a sputter to it, especially with the one cylinder not working. Axle seal's obviously shot because the brake pads are covered in oil. It's an absolute mess. Don't know if you can hear that, but you can hear the bearings, which is not a good thing. But at least it tells me there is bearings in there, so that's something. So yeah, we'll pop this out. Hopefully it's not too bad and get to welding that. Broken. Oh, we're down to 3 axle bolts. Okay, 4 off, including top one broken. So I gotta pop the brake line off. That's probably not gonna be good. And then do the other side. All right, 7 out of 8 not broken. That's a solid pass. Yeah. Think that's probably been a little not doing much. That's why I wear the apron, or else it'd all be in my lap. It's also my tool bench. All right, next up is the drive shaft bolts. All right, after a bunch of work, getting filthy, some select swear words, I've got the third member out. Yeah, these rear brakes were disgusting. As soon as I pulled the stuff out, they just fell apart. They're completely covered with oil and grease anyways, so my guess is they maybe did about 2% braking. So whether this gets rear brakes when it goes back together or not is to be determined. And by that, I mean, it's not gonna have rear brakes. So another bad thing, once I got the third member pulled out, you can see that the gears are not visible. It's got this little dealio in the middle. So unfortunately, I have to pop this off, pop this end cap off to be able to get at the spider gears. I'll only be able to access one side of them, but there's not a whole lot of horsepower and it's teeny little axles and tires. So gonna get this up and start tearing that apart. All right, got the ring out. Yeah. Now I gotta pop this off and access the spider gears in there. Keep in mind, you always want to do this kind of work on a really clean surface because you don't want stuff getting in here. Now mine is filthy. There's actual sand all over here, but do as I say, not as I do. Now this should, yep, pop off. Yep, there's a shim there. Keep track of those. So that'll go back on. Same order. There's another one there. Gonna have to put down the camera and get a pick to get it, but that, we'll pull all that junk out. Oh, that I can actually do. Perfect. There, set it on the sandy table. Shim number 2 back on. And there is the business. So that is what makes you be able to turn corners and not squeak your tires. That's also what makes us get stuck when we lift some weight off one of the tires. So gonna get this in the parts washer, wash it up the best I can, which is gonna be probably 10 seconds of washing, and get the old welder out and weld everything that I can get my dirty little hands on. Parts are washed and over on the welding table. This is also not going to be fun. This is a really stupid setup compared to just popping off the back and welding. So here's what the inside looks like. So these little gears, you can see the spider gear, the side gear down there, which ideally you weld these little guys to the side gears, but like there's the back of it. You can't really get in there. I mean, I'll try a little bit with the old MIG tip, but I am just going to overload this sucker with weld. And like I mentioned before, it's got 165 horsepower factory. We're missing a cylinder, so we're probably down to about 100 horse, and not a very good running 100 horse at that. So not too worried about power breaking this. Yeah, so we're just gonna go to town, get some weld in there. All right, here goes nothing or something. All right, so I cheated a bit. It was a very frustrating couple hours with welding, things not fitting right, having to clearance, put things together not properly. You'll notice there's shims sitting on the table. I don't care. Anyways, got it back in, axles pressed back in, skipped all the boring stuff. Yeah, broken bolt on there, don't care, there's only 3. Got the third member put back in, RTV, that's all looking good. So it's late. I'm going to come back tomorrow, get the tires put on, and we will test this puppy out. So we will see you just like that. And I'm back. So it is time to get some diff fluid in the back diff, put the tires back on, sort out the brakes that I just remembered. I have to do some adjusting there because the brake pads maybe didn't go back in. So let's do that. Well, I did it. I forgot to film, but you can just take my word that it wasn't very exciting. I took oil and I put it in the diff. So now I've got my brake tool that I'm going to remove that e-brake cable. So yeah, as you can see, no brakes there, but it's going to be for off-road only. Not on the street, so don't really need those. And if you can see, the brake pads and shoes, or the brake shoes and the drums were completely coated in nasty oil and crap. So they were doing very little anyways. So weight reduction, this thing's gonna rip now. There we go. Same on the other side, and then I can move on to dealing with the brake lines. All right, I used the specialty brake tool to squish down probably 1.5 inches of the line there. I'm gonna cut it in the middle, fold it back over, and throw a little weld on there. And that's some proper stuff right there. All right, it's the next day. I rushed through doing the tracker stuff, getting that all welded up, because moving on to the next thing. Taking the limo out to Jeklefab to try and diagnose some electrical issues. So if you haven't met the limo before, this is my 2003 Excursion stretch limo, 8-inch lift on 40-inch tires, and for now we're going to fix the electrical so it just works, and then eventually we are putting a transfer case in it. Got the 4-wheel drive front axle in it already, so just need to get it working, and then it'll be 4-wheel drive and ready to do some recoveries for the winter. Yeah, charging issue with it, so got jumper cables hooked up and another battery inside just in case, because it's a 15-minute drive out to the shop. All right, we are away. So tried to charge the battery in it all night. I think the battery's toast, which sucks because I just put it in like last year. So I already got it hooked up to my spare battery. Jumper's coming through the window. So we'll see if it makes it. I'm not so sure. We'll take the back road instead of the highway. She's a long unit. Five minutes in, so far so good. This is the section where there's actually room to pull over. Up here there's not, so hopefully we breeze on by. All right, home stretch. I don't care if it dies down here, because we're safe. It'd be nice if it made it. I think we will. Ooh, puddle. Jared will appreciate that. Get everything all wet underneath. Ideally we'd find some mud and go mud bogging before taking it in. That'll do though. Made it. And also, look at Donna's new shoes. Got the 40-inch Toyos. Summer tires on there. Looking good, Donna. All right, now the hard part, trying to squeeze it into the shop. I think I'll back in and take a left-hander, a little more room. Just getting some trucks pulled out of the way, because the limo, believe it or not, takes up most of the bay. I think there's one more coming out. It's kind of surging a little bit. All right, let's squeak it in here. There we go. Easy peasy. In we go through a dirty windshield. Jared's picking away on some things. So the alternator, it could have been a plug that maybe got rattled loose when I was off-roading a little bit, shaking around. So hopefully that's it. Got it cleaned up and put back in. Now he's looking at another piece, a little broken wire that was going to my second battery. So hopefully these combinations of things will make it work. And then I gotta get, oh, it's dark. Gotta get this working. This panel is for all the stuff in the back, like the lights and the glass divider and a bunch of things. So This is all the aftermarket fuse panels and stuff to make limos work, which is very scary. All right, well, the alternator should be charging, and we got the switch fixed for the important things like the lights in the back, so should be good. Gonna get the hood closed. Probably not gonna hook up my battery, and it should be charging on the way home. Okie doke. Thank you, sir.
I don't know what we did.
We'll be doing 4x4 next time, the exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Sweet. Off we go. So far, so good. See if she makes it home. I even got the good controls in this puppy. So I've decided on the way home I'm gonna swing past the dump and see if we can get a weight on this thing, just out of curiosity. Not even sure if they'll do that, but I guess if I'm on the scale and reading it, there's nothing they can do. So heading to the dump now. Started to rain a little bit. The wipers don't work very good. Put that on the list. I am curious. Put your guesses for weight in the comments below before cheating. Do it right now. 30-foot long lifted excursion limo, 8-inch lift on 40-inch tires. How much does that weigh? I don't know. I'm guessing somewhere like, I'm gonna say 9,500 pounds. That's my guess. All right, pulling in. It's not very busy, so that's good. Yeah, I think it's a big long scale, so it's not front axle, back axle, it's just the whole rig. So it'd be kind of nice to get both axles. We'll see if I can see the readout for how heavy it is when I roll the front on, but the whole weight is all I really care about. Only a couple people in line. Oh, the readout's kind of angled so that you can read it once you get up there. So it's just gonna be a everything weight. That's all right. So just me in the limo, quarter tank of fuel, not much else. Getting thumbs up from the dump people. It's a younger looking dude. I think he'll be all right with it. $44.70. I mean, I could drive away right now. He's busy on the other side, but I'll ask if this is something that's okay to do. How's it going?
Not too bad, right?
Good. I just wanting to get a weight for this. Is that something that's okay to do, or?
I don't print them. So
no, that's okay.
Just take the picture on the scale.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's all I need. But that's okay to do, or is it?
I don't love it, but I mean, can't stop you.
Fair enough.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. So awesome. Thank you.
See ya.
They said they don't love it, but he's not going to stop you. Not much they can do. So I like that attitude. So we'll spin around here. I'll do the math on what 4,470 kilograms means. We'll have our pounds. Lots of thumbs up from the dump people today. Thanks, Scale House. Woo! All right, we made it back to the shop, so that must mean things are charging and looking good. All right, everybody, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I have no idea how long that is gonna take in video length after editing. I know it's not as exciting, but this stuff takes a long time. Just welding that diff, you know, along with some other stuff, took a day and a half to finally get done. Taking the limo out, I've been putting that off forever because, well, it's a pain, me getting in and out, putting the day permit on it, taking it out to Jeklefab, lining it up with them whenever Jerrod's got time. But getting that done is awesome. I'm stoked that that is finally ready to roll. We have some more stuff on the list that we want to do to it. As I mentioned before, make it four-wheel drive. Want to have some fun with it next winter, go rescue some people and get their reaction, because that'll be awesome. Along with another little surprise with the limo in the snow. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. Next video is probably going to be us taking the tracker out and testing the welded rear end, doing some 4x4ing, and having a bunch of fun. So be sure you subscribe, leave a comment, like, all that stuff, and we'll see you next time.